Governor Polis promises a spring skiing announcement by May 25th. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News. First, contractors are back at work in downtown Breckenridge, tearing up pavement for a second summer of town-owned fiber optic installation. Haley Littleton with the town.
On any of the streets that we're working on, we'll have one-way flagging. So none of the streets will be shut down. People will still be able to drive just with flaggers.
Work this summer happens on the east side of Main Street, bringing fiber to customers between Main and French and the Vista Point neighborhood. Wellington got fiber last year.
We really will have the core of the Breckenridge area completed from Main Street up east into Vista Point and the Wellington neighborhood.
But why continue with a multi-year, multi-million-dollar project when the town estimates a revenue loss of $15 million this year alone?
Now, more than ever, we see how important fiber is and how important fiber connection is. And as we look to the future of what this pandemic might look like, we want to make sure that we are getting fiber in the ground so that people can stay connected digitally.
Crews are currently ahead of schedule and hope to finish install early thanks to quiet downtown streets, one silver lining of coronavirus shutdown. Colorado's budget will lose an estimated $3 billion next year, equal to nearly one-quarter of the $13 billion general fund, and State Senator Bob Rankin of Carbondale wants to protect high country schools.
For the 8 years I've been in the session, I've been concerned that resort and rural Colorado doesn't get a fair shake. Our kids don't have all the opportunities that the big district kids have in many cases.
Rankin, a Republican, says bipartisan teamwork is the only way to cut billions without permanently harming the state, and he is confident that will happen. He and the Budget Committee see an updated economic outlook today for a budget presentation June 25th and state capital approval sometime in July. 7 farm animals died this past weekend in a barn fire outside Steamboat Springs. The Steamboat pilot reports 5 pigs and 2 sheep perished in a Saturday evening fire at Legacy Ranch on US 40. The ranch is 130 years old and partners with the local 4-H club to house animals in historic farm buildings. Cause of the fire remains unknown and is under investigation. Join a live Q&A with Breckenridge Film Fest tonight as the festival interviews Elizabeth Carroll, director of the foodie documentary Diana Kennedy, Nothing Fancy. Carroll's film tells Kennedy's life story, from the British expat's early years exploring Mexican cuisine to her cooking show, cookbooks, and thoughts on life and aging at 95 years old. The live Q&A is tonight, hosted on Zoom for free. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Get details at breckfilmfest.org. The Summit County Essential Worker Support Program rolls on, bringing free meals to the FIRC in Breckenridge yesterday from Peak of Asia in downtown Breck. Blue River Bistro served just about every Breck PD officer a free sandwich over the weekend, part of a countywide initiative saying thank you to police, medical, and public service frontliners. The latest now on coronavirus and spring skiing. Governor Jared Polis yesterday gave a revised timeline for reopening state ski areas, promising a decision by Labor Day, May 25th.
If it's a go in the 2 or 3 areas, it'll just be a few days after that they can likely open.
That's the same day Summit County's public health order allows for high-risk recreation at ski areas, marinas, and rec centers. As of now, Arapahoe Basin is the only local possibility, with Loveland officially closed until next winter and Breck playing coy with their plans, even for summer visitors. Ryan Huff with Vail Resorts.
In a typical year, around mid-June or so, we would open up our summer operations on our mountains. And we're talking to public health officials on what is safe. And so once they say that it's safe, we will look at that and consider when to open.
Summit County confirms 182 cases of COVID-19 as of yesterday, with 10 new cases since last week, 2 fatalities, and 1,031 patients tested. Colorado claims 19,979 cases and 987 fatalities. And now a headline from the COVID-19 Twilight Zone, where, at regional high country airports, airlines are losing cash on empty planes and pleading officials to break contracts. The Colorado Sun reports major carriers like Delta and United are hamstrung by federal law. It gets convoluted, but comes down to summer versus winter travel in places like Aspen and Eagle. Carriers argue their seasonal travel contracts are exempt from certain points of federal law, while the feds have denied their claims. In sports, the future looks promising for Rockies home games at Coors Field sometime this summer. Major League owners yesterday announced a plan for pro baseball by July, with 82 games limited to divisional and regional interleague play. The plan needs approval from players and health officials who decide if fans are even allowed or if ball fields remain empty. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, state officials are reopening state park campgrounds just in time for summer. The governor's office yesterday announced a slow, phased reopening of paid camping statewide, although some facilities like restrooms might stay closed. Rocky Mountain National Park remains closed to the public for now, and U.S. Forest Service sites will open as the season allows. Call your local ranger office for details. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News.